What is up, boyo?
Hello, boyos.
I just saw the new movie House of Gucci, starring Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Al Pacino, Jeremy Irons, and Jared Leto.
Stop, you're going to make me. You're going to make me cry. Nobody has ever said that to me. Nobody.
House of Gucci was directed by Ridley Scott, and I would say it's not even the best Ridley Scott movie this year. That being said, it is still a very good movie. I enjoyed my time with it. I think Lady Gaga was fantastic in it. Adam Driver was phenomenal in it. I think the standout for me was Jeremy Irons, who's not in it a lot, but I think he did a phenomenal job. But this movie has some issues.
Gucci. It was a name that sounded so sweet, so seductive.
Come, meet the family.
Hey everybody, this is Patricia, and this is my family.
Kick his teeth out!
They had it all. Wealth, style, power. Who wouldn't kill for that?
First and foremost, this is the most important thing I could say about this movie. If you watch it, I'm sure there's going to be people who enjoyed this performance. I'm not one of those people. I think Jared Leto in this movie was atrociously bad. I think he deserves a Razzie for it, honestly.
Nobody has ever said that to me. Nobody.
It's like he's in a completely different movie. The scene, he plays kind of a bozo in the movie, right? And so everyone, when he's around him, sort of is like, kind of awkward about being around him or whatever, and like embarrassed by him. But it almost felt like they weren't acting. It just kind of felt like they were embarrassed by Jared Leto and his performance. Because god damn, that was bad. But besides him, and if you could set him aside, it's a very entertaining movie with some flaws. First and foremost, it's interesting because The Last Duel, which was the other Ridley Scott movie that came out this year, had amazing sound design. In fact, I think it should win the Oscar for Best Sound Design. I don't think it will, but it should, because I think the sound design in The Last Duel was phenomenal. The sound design in this movie, while not horrible, I noticed some real issues with it. Specifically at the beginning, there was a scene where it almost sounded like Adam Driver's character, Maurizio, was wearing a mic and it was like hitting his shirt and I could like hear it. It was really, really strange that they decided to keep that audio in there. And then the rest of the audio, not that this should be like an audio heavy movie. It just, there was just some interesting choices with the sound department, including the musical choices. I didn't mind the musical choices. It was more the implementations and how they were used. It just kind of felt haphazardly put in there. What I will say is this movie has incredible cinematography. I think the cinematography is great, and I think Ridley Scott is known for that, with Gladiator and The Martian and Alien. That's kind of his bread and butter, is amazing cinematography and making a movie look good, which this movie is no exception. I think there's some really stupid characters in this movie, and I understand it's based on a true story, so you needed to have it in there. But there were some characters in there, and I don't want to spoil too much, but there is a character called Pina in this movie that I felt was very rushed. I wish we got a little more about her. I wish the concept of time was a little bit better in this movie. Time just flies in this movie, like left and right. You don't know what year it is half the time. You're like, is this 80s? Is this 90s? Where am I? Am I in the 70s? How old are these people? Are they in college? Are they not? Are they 25? Are they 35? I don't know. There's a lot of that going on in the movie. Granted, there is a scene where it's like it prepares you for that kind of level of movement in the movie. But yeah, the concept of time it feels a bit rushed, and honestly, the movie feels long. It's so long, yet it feels rushed at the end, because it spent so much time building other characters and the Gucci family, which I'm torn on. I don't know, man. It's a tough pill to swallow, and I think it's one I have to think on for a while, which is interesting because I think Ridley Scott's last film, The Last Duel, I didn't have to think about it. I came out of it and I was like, I love this movie. And this one is a bit of a thinker. I have to think about it. I think the biggest flaw of this movie, for me, overall, is it cannot decide whether or not it wants to be a very serious drama or some sort of dark comedy, almost. Like a Big Lebowski almost. There are moments where it's like you're obviously intending this to be funny, but then there are moments of just I don't know. Those moments, first of all, don't land for the most part, and they're conveyed a lot through Jared Leto, and also the drama stuff just works so much better. So it's tonality wise, it's a bit conflicting and a bit confusing. But overall, I think I like this movie a lot. It's one I have to sit on, really. I'll see how I feel in the morning, but there was some really questionable dialogue, and yeah, I thought the performances were great, and the cinematography was great, and the journey was fun. But it had those flaws that I mentioned before. I definitely recommend seeing this movie. I would see it in theaters if you can. I think it's worthy of that. Ridley Scott is one of the great American directors, and just one of the great directors. And yeah, you should definitely see it in theaters. He's one of my favorite directors ever. So yeah, definitely check it out. Thanks for watching this review. Feels a bit rambly. I just wanted to talk about it. I normally don't make car reviews. It's usually a thing I do if I see it opening night, which I obviously didn't because it's coming out on a Tuesday. But I just wanted to talk about this movie. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Make sure you subscribe down below. Love you. Bye-bye.